morning, everybody. Michelle is here on this nice, crisp, sunny, cool, whatever morning. I haven't been out there, but it looks. I mean, it's beautiful, but the temperature-wise, I'm not sure. I think it's in the 40s, maybe. I'm a little warm here, but I'll keep everything on until I finish videoing. But yes, today is Tuesday. Yeah, January the 16th, 2024. You know, so here I am facing you, and here we are facing each other. Ooh, wow. I put out a video. Oh gosh, I don't know. It's probably been over a year ago, where I was talking about certain factors about a theory I had about what someone may have done. And then I started, but then over the course of time, see, we all make mistakes, right? So that's why theories and opinions need to be theories and opinion. As you go along throughout your life discussing it and finding reasons to make it more than just theories and opinions, and to make it facts, and to make it true, right? In the best way you know how. And as I've realized over the course of over 10 years, maybe close to 15 years, when I had a certain things happen to me around 2008. How about that? So I'm considering, and this is going to be a theories and opinion as well, but it's something to contemplate, cultivate, properly meditate, properly ruminate. If you're that type of person like I am, I like to kind of dive into things and find out, okay, what makes this true? What makes this factual? The best I can, but it's better to have it in a discussion with people so that you can have some back and forth conversations and blah, 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 blah. But you can do it by yourself as well. It's fun. It's a fun thing to do because you're actually activating your consciousness to kind of open up some information for you so that you can see how you can handle it. So there's what's happening is that we have patterns to our behaviors and actions, and they can be documented as true thousands of years ago or maybe millions of years ago. We have these patterns of behaviors and actions that causes us to be unique in a degenerate, deviant fashion. In other words, we're unique, and that a lot of people find that for creatives now, for a creative type like me and creative others, to be unique is a positive thing. But to be unique and be so much more undescribed, you can't describe our behaviors and actions. That becomes a bit interesting. Let me see if I can do some of this light. See a little bit. Like it was just too much. Because I am working on it and blah blah blah. So we have an unique set of behaviors and actions and patterns that is easily recognized by anyone paying attention to us. Okay, when I say us, the whole planet. Okay, for thousands of years, maybe millions of years, we have been paid attention to, believe it or not, accept it or not. And that's what's happening with AI as well. And I'll come back to that. In other words, AI is doing the same thing, recognizing our patterns and behaviors and actions. So one thing to keep in mind, before I go on, as you're watching, as you are watching me, someone's watching you, watching me. So there is always eyes on us, and eyes on you, and eyes on me. That's just the way. That's just the motion of our existence. You can't and that's cause and effect as well. You can't look at someone else and not know that someone else is looking at you. All right. So anyway, so our behaviors and actions have been documented, if that's a word, for thousands, millions of years, whether we want to accept that or not. And so, and I told you that this planet, whether you want to take this, whether you want to accept it or not, has had the so-called extraterrestrials or ETs for millions of years have been housed on this planet. Okay, that have come from various planets and worlds throughout the galaxy. All right, you're not, and that the reason why that ought to not be surprising to a lot of people. Where are these ideas coming from? These type of movies. There's hundreds of movies that illustrate that. That comes from your consciousness. A lot of consciousness ideas that can be imposed into your. A lot of people get these brilliant ideas and they think it's coming from them. Okay, and I'm gonna, I hate to burst your bubbles, but chances are you're picking up impulses from somewhere and somebody or something or some. Not everything is coming from you, and that's why we need to get over this wanting to be more than we are. We get stuff from outside in. It comes from the outside in. All right, and I'm gonna go a bit further because I am reading on the topic of certain subjects about our lineage. And when I say lineage, that means the personalities that our lineage generate based on my spirit form. Like I said, we all have spirit forms where it has an input, has that energy, condensing of energy there, and we are tied to. The energy in that spirit form is tied to procreation. Once procreation takes place, meaning a child is inside the womb of their biological, whoever is having them, right? I shouldn't, whatever. A baby that's inside someone or something, sadly, is coming to that as well, where that's being interfered with. Okay? And then our spirit form sparks it. What does that mean, sparks it? It gets inside of it somehow and create personalities. Without our spirit form doing that, with that neutral energy, we wouldn't exist. Okay? Just keep that in mind. These bodies, this body that I call Michelle is just a shell, okay, that houses the energy from my spirit form. Boom. So, and also with that energy is impulsing and sparking, and I mean it's sparking. It has a spark all throughout. It's constant. Energy is constant. Energy does not rest ever. Energy does not rest ever, even during rest. And I'll get into that later in the course of time. So all of these energies and forces of energies are just all over the place. Just we're striking each other and interfering in a devastating way with our consciousness. Interfering, in a devastating way, and that's why That's why a lot of us are just past being human. We more now identify as inhumane. Okay, our previous personalities didn't necessarily go this far. Okay, even though it may have been barbaric, it may have been this or that or the other. So what I'm attempting to say without saying too much, because you need to just kind of throw things out and allow people to think about it themselves. Allow people to think about things themselves and let them, allow yourself to see if you can figure things out. Okay? I mean, that's what's fun about thinking, in my opinion. Let me see what I can figure out from this. Whatever she's saying, if I can understand her. Her, it be me. They probably say, well, what the hell is she talking about? I think some of you have been around enough to have figured out my patterns and behaviors, which is good and bad. I'll come back to that in a minute. So there's a connection with everything that's available to us if we are properly developed. If you're not properly developed, then you're not going to tap into certain things. It doesn't matter what kind of persona you think you have, or whoever you think you are. If you think you're chosen, or you think you're a hero, or if you think you're a prophet, or this and all these, and some of you think you're gods. Okay, some of you think you're a goddess, and a lot of it is innocent for a lot of people. They're not necessarily. Hopefully, and I'm gonna give people the benefit of the doubt. Okay. Sometimes, like I said, we don't recognize the words that we're using and how it can spark and activate certain things within us that has been wedged into us throughout the course of time, millions and millions of years. So instead of a lot of us on this planet evolving, a lot of us have devolved and become so extreme, unrecognizable, unique human beings that are more classified as inhumane, okay, because of how we are behaving and acting. So there was something interesting I thought about, like I said, a little bit over a year ago. I put out a video about understanding, how our past lives play a factor in our current lives. We all have past lives that we are unable, listen to me carefully, we are unable to make contact with that. Okay, only the best that we can hope for is impulses. Okay, we're not talking to our past lives. We can't talk to our past lives, and no one else can as well. And a lot of people are going to get upset with that, and that's fine. I'm not going to say any more about that. In other words, you cannot talk to the dead. Once your personality, once your former personality or past personalities pass the baton to you, they dissolve after a series of events. They dissolve. Okay, now what you can do, and that's only on a special occasion, is you can time travel. But let's not get into that right now. And that means something completely different than what people believe it is. Okay, you can time travel to the future and time travel to the past, and a lot of people get so stuck on that for some reason. I have no idea why. When right now is what determines the future. There's nothing you can do about the past under the best circumstances. The past is the past. So if you think you're going to go back to the past and ask your former personality questions, they're going to answer you in that period of time when they died. They're going to give you some 1800 speech or 1700 speech, or and in the future you're creating the future now. But anyway, I had this I would call it a belief that because of some behaviors and actions, because I was contradicting myself actually, because I'm beginning to pick up some things, and because I said something about a person that's now roaming the streets of America, literally, figuratively, and metaphorically, and I said, this person had a particular type of, personality in the 1600s that was brutal, monstrous. They were a serial killer. How about that? And these are my theories and opinions, and you can take it as you want. You can take this as science fiction, fantasy, illusion, delusion. You decide, okay? But I want you to entertain this for a moment and understand what I'm attempting to share this morning, Tuesday, January 16th, 2024. What? So in the 1600s, this particular personality had was monstrous serial killer, right? And this particular personality now is in the midst of our realities, just like billions and billions of other people. They want to be this. They have these particular type of personas that are taking place in their lives. And I said that and I was mistaken. I'm considering that I was mistaken about what this person's intentions are now, based on what they were, because that is wrong to like now. It's wrong to put the burdens of my former personality on me. So it's no different than putting the actions and behaviors of anyone else's former personality on who we are right now. Okay? Now, because who we were in the past, anyone can impulse on that. Keep that in mind. Okay? It's not exclusively, because when our personalities store our experiences in a storage bank. There's also a planetary storage bank. And then there's another, I think it's a cosmic storage bank. So all of that energy is stored, okay, and is there and is around, and anyone can tap into it if they're at the right frequency, So just because someone was a serial killer back in this, let's say the 1600s, doesn't mean that they cannot, that they will necessarily pick up those impulses. Okay, chances are someone else around them can, just as well as the person that had a personality that had that type of behavior and actions. Anyone can pick up those impulses now. Okay, if you're at the right frequency, and I told you, yes, it's important to raise our vibrational, raise our consciousness level, but then you can still be just as insane. I told you about the Eye Nubila. The Eye Nubila was created by a highly advanced, scientific level human being. Caused that. Okay, caused that destruction. So what we do with our energy is going to be based on the energy of our thoughts. It doesn't matter how high your consciousness is, how high your vibrational is. Everything still comes back to you, the individual, and how you behave and act. So what I'm picking up is there's a lot of smoke and mirrors, I think, which has been going on for thousands of years, definitely, and possibly millions of years, where we have this contradiction, like I said, with what we are saying versus what we're thinking. Okay, and unless you can read minds, which we cannot, but I'm not going to argue about that, because if we could, why do we have these particular types of results? And usually the people that are talking like that, like I said, don't have a pot to piss in and can barely wipe their asses properly. Okay, but yet they want to come around and say they can read your mind, they can read your palms, they're mediums, they can read your future and this and that and the other. I'm against all of that because that's confusion. I'm not attempting to step into someone's livelihood, but you need to change your wording on what is exactly is your purpose and your intentions by reading palms, telling people about the future, on a paid basis. People have to pay you for you to tell them these certain type of for you to tell them certain type of things. When if they only apply logic, rational, and reasonable thinking, and other sensing, and the other factors I told you to consider, they can figure out their own future. Okay, I mean, because it's logical. So if someone's saying to you that they know your future, I would run away from that, because the only person that benefits from knowing your future is you. And you can factor in a lot of things to figure out everything else going on the planet, yes. And that's sensory. You know, some people are just sensitive like that, but let's not go into that. I just want people I just want to caution people not to be wasting your money. Gosh. Now it's cold. See, I shouldn't have set that up. Usually I don't put my coffee out until I'm done videoing, because I don't know how long these videos will go. And so now it's cold, and now I don't like it. I don't want it. No, I'm just joking. And I don't know how people can drink cold coffee. Iced coffee? Oh, I don't know why that's disgusting to me. Just like cold pizza. How can people eat cold pizza? Oh my gosh. Anyway. So, everyone has to be given the benefit of the doubt, if you choose to. That's a free will choice, meaning we all need to be allowed to let our behaviors and actions speak for themselves. Okay, fair enough. We could do a lot of predicting via someone's behaviors and actions. Yes, we can. And that's just logical thinking. That's just thinking. Okay, you know, the behaviors and actions will illustrate what someone's, usually what someone's thinking, but there are a lot of, like I said, sophisticated liars out there. They can lie, and it is not until someone can penetrate into these people's thoughts to know exactly what they are intending to do. That's the degeneracy, the deviancy, and the dangers of this, and because they're playing games with their consciousness. They think that they're so clever because, yes, they have all these kind of thoughts swirling into their heads about what their genuine intentions are, but yet they know how to be great orators. They know how to speak. They know how to, they're extremely charming. And as I said on the other video, that charm is what allows them to snake their way in, because they are paying attention to everything. Okay, that's why they are sophisticated. And there's good and bad with sophistication, good and bad with being complicated. It's just some people have that mastery, because it's a skill, whether it's good, bad, or otherwise. It's a skill and ability to deceive and manipulate. And because the majority of us are unconscious, unwoke, kind of on autopilot, and more importantly, more specifically, in trances. So certain oratory types that usually are in politics, usually are in entertainment, in certain aspects of entertainment, not necessarily in the creative, because the creative types that are in entertainment are being used by those type of hidden hands that hide, because the hidden hands want to go where the action is. Okay, the hidden hands are secretly in entertainment. They're secretly on these social media platforms, in the military, in NASA, scientific, in science, AI. That's where the hidden hands are. Okay, usually no one has any idea who they are. That's why they're hidden. And so they'll propel someone forward to take on the attention of us as human beings. What they call them, the show ponies, or what's the name? Someone as they're pushing forward to create a certain narrative, and kind of, and they're taken care of once they do that. Okay. Once these certain type of, I guess they call them handpicks, because a lot of people are saying that, that people are handpicked. I mean, it is a rigged system. Okay, a lot of our systems are rigged. Okay, why in the world would a company making trillions of dollars need more money? I mean, continue to want more and more and more and more. It's sickening. It's a sickness as well. Be thankful for those of us that know better. Be thankful we don't have that type of mentality, those sophisticated behaviors and actions, which are deadly. They're going to cause so much malice, and I mean, it's going to be, it's going to be something to see, and because there always are survivors through all of this. And, but the problem is throughout history, the survivors, rally up and vow not to do certain things again after the traumatic experiences they've gone through. And they end up doing the same things again. Okay, so that's where we're having an issue, where there's this constant desire to be in war, okay, to be lawless, and not follow logical rules, regulations, and such. You need a type of blueprint, as they say, to how to behave and act, and not just be lawless and pushing the envelope, in parts unknown. And so, like I said, we can, go on certain planets like Mars and just claim Mars belongs to us. Well, it's not necessarily to us. Mars is being set up for particular type of people. It's the same thing with the moon and the dangers that's going to cause. A lot of us won't be alive for that, because I doubt they'll get there and set up as they hope to during my lifetime. So that's going to be my baton going to be passed to my future personality. Let them deal with it. Right? I mean, because of the things that we're dealing with now, if we last that long. So my point is that, because, we cannot believe that the behaviors and actions of our future personalities are to burden us. Okay? It's a burden, to the collective more so. So, like I said, those energy flares, energy impulses, or whatever it is, it's open to anyone that can tap into it based on the energy of your thoughts. So that's why those looking in can pick up and know exactly who is walking the talk. It's based on your energy. Okay, so that's why you can't fool your consciousness. Okay, you can't go around being more than you are. If I were you, I would scale all of that down. Especially you all that think you're chosen. What do you be? You are setting yourself up to be chosen for something you may not be prepared for. Okay, so I would not necessarily. A lot of people say, "Well, humble yourself." No, humble is submissive. I would say just be modest about what you, and gentle and kind too. There's nothing wrong with being gentle and kind with yourself. If you made a mistake, believing you are a prophet, believing you are a herald, believing you were chosen, that's not possible, right? Just think about it. Put the pieces together and ask yourself, why would you want to be chosen for anything that you may not be prepared for and may not survive? Are you willing to sacrifice yourself that way? I doubt it. I think a lot of people think if they call themselves chosen, that means that they're protected in some way. That's bullshit, and that's illogical and delusional. Okay, so I'm learning a lot, and I love it, and I like that I made mistakes in perceptions of people and their personalities. Now, there are certain people that do live up to their behaviors and actions, but they can also be just as much as a victim too. The enemy can be a victim too, because we all have, like I said, I'm looking at you, you're looking at me, someone's looking at you and someone's looking at me. And, there are always eyes on all of us, and that's based on our consciousness developing as well. Nothing goes unnoticed. Okay, it's just our responsibility to know how to decipher it and be humane about it. So this particular person that I'm thinking about, just thinking about this person, that person, and persons in general, or people in general, your results speak for themselves. So for us, if we're not paying attention, see, what we're not doing is paying attention. Well, we may be paying attention to someone's results, but we're not holding them accountable. I mean, some people will say out loud what they're going to do, and then we get surprised when they do it. Some people will say, I'm going to kill you, and a lot of people dismiss that and say, well, and we see everybody, sometimes we see people as something that we can make jokes about. You just have to understand, that people are human beings, is my point. And we're acting inhumane against people. Even though a lot of you have swore to yourselves that this, during this new year, that you would stop that. Stop harassing people, bullying them, degrading people. Because, if someone's doing something malice and dangerous, and there's something going on inside of them, and that's possibly pain, self-hatred, who knows, but it's volatile. And so, and my point is, we ought to consider being gentle and kind and friendly even to our enemies. Okay, but be protective, of course. Protect yourself, defend yourself, protect your family, protect your property. But I think it's beneficial for the collective, because the collective is what's failed, not one individual. The whole collective of billions of people are the failures, on this planet. Okay, to be pointing fingers at one person is illogical, because if that's the case, to say that one person has that much power overall, no. So there's always an opportunity to repair the damage too, to someone that may have caused so much destruction and chaos and was complicit, even though they're not the ones pulling the trigger, so to speak. They still are complicit. That's why a lot of people get wrapped up in bullshit when they hire a hitman or a hitwoman. They hire people to take people out. Whoever's planning that, you're still complicit. You're still involved. You're still responsible. But as if you pulled the trigger or caused this or caused that. But at the same time, every day is a new day to decide, okay, how am I going to behave and act? I told you that's that free will we have. But a lot of us are unconscious and in a trance and not recognizing that, look, I can, I can stop this right now if I need to. But a lot of people don't want to do that, because they figure, they don't want to accept that. They don't want to accept that they may have made a mistake. And they don't feel as though they have any they feel like it's cowardly to not admit that you made a mistake. It's anything but. Okay, a coward is complicit. Okay, has complicit behavior. A coward is someone that's hiding behind certain factors to not take responsibility for their behavior and actions and results. Okay, and there's millions of people like that are not doing that, and they're living. They feel like they're living fancy free with their feet up on a chair, or sitting on the beach somewhere, hiding in caves, hiding in mountains, hiding in bunkers and hiding underground, that kind of snake-like, primate-like behavior. That's primate-like behavior. And there's a reason for that. When people go hiding in caves, hiding underground, hiding in mountains, I'm talking about the human being factor, not the advanced human beings, because we have advanced human beings living in certain structures like that as well. But but that's something that we'll have to. A lot of people are going to realize that coming in the near future, not the distant. All right. So, but I'm talking about the behaviors and actions that are prevalent with most of the people that we know of. And usually they're in the pyramids. Okay, they'll go hiding on islands that don't belong to them, and chances are they cause the human beings that were there to disappear. Okay, that's happened. And then so they claim the island belongs to them. A lot of this stuff is happening, and a lot of us don't know because we're too busy and overwhelmed, which is intentional as well. But like I said, hiding underground and in bunkers and in caves and stuff like that. That's that cowardly behavior that our planet is filled with. Okay. So I say this to people out there that have made some devastating mistakes, and you don't want to admit that you did. I say you can, but no one has to know. Just change your behaviors and actions and change the results. And you'll be surprised. Okay? So I'm going to go ahead and start right there. I'm going to get me some more coffee and go ahead and start my beautiful day. I want to go ahead and send peace and love all over the stars and moon and mountains. Love each other. Love yourself. Be kind and gentle and friendly, even if you made the most drastic mistakes in your life. We all have. And that's why we do reborn ourselves. Because we're given but because to be reborn is an opportunity. You're fresh and clean. You're brand new. It doesn't matter what your previous personalities have done. There's a correlation, and that'll be revealed at the right times. But we're here to learn, to evolve, to love. Okay? Spread it. Trust me. I'll be back.